Hey everyone, I hope we're all keeping well. Also, happy 2024 to everyone. This is my first video of the new year, so I hope we all had a great Christmas and a nice new year as well. For those of you who don't know, my name is Gavin Heffron. I'm a barber from Dublin. Well, my background is in barbering. I don't actually cut hair anymore. I run a business called Poseidon Hair. I sell all sort of cosmetic products, you know, skincare is coming, doing hair products right now, and some hairdryer attachments and that sort of thing. But I actually got my start as a barber. I wasn't a very good student in school, to be honest. When I was in second year in school, which is, for those of you in the UK, is year 8, and for the US it's like 8th grade, I think. I was 14 anyway. I started cutting hair instead of going to school, really. I actually did my first few haircuts in the change rooms in school, which was so dodgy. And I remember teachers like walking in, sometimes they'd just be like the scariest, it was like some of the scariest moments of my life, but you know, we got through that anyway, and I started cutting hair at home then. But I actually did cut hair for 5 years then, and it's definitely one of the best things that's ever happened to me. It's taught me so much, not just to have that skill of cutting hair, but also just the people skills and the organizational skills of it all. And I think at the high end, I was maybe like 17 years old making $5 a month cutting hair, which is really not bad, to be honest. Like, you might even not be getting that as a graduate salary from college. So for a 17-year-old making $5 a month, it was a really good gig, especially because all I had to do was just chat to people all day, and it was just something I enjoyed anyway. So anyone who's aspiring to do something like that, this is who this video is for. I'm basically going to give you the roadmap of how I went from zero to making $5 a month cutting hair, self-employed. Also, if this video ends up helping you out, I'd really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. I post about all things hair, hairstyling products, whatever, glow up tips, that type of thing. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm also planning on talking a lot more about my business and like my day-to-day runnings of it this year as well. So yeah, that's also something that you might be interested in. Either way, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's just get stuck into the video. The first tip I would have is to learn from others on YouTube. There's a lot of paid courses out there, but I actually don't really think you need them. There's so much material on YouTube you can learn from. The two biggest ones that I'd recommend that helped me a lot, which I will link below, are Chris Bossio and Regal Gentleman. Chris Bossio is a barber in America, but he actually just has like this really in-depth knowledge of all types of hair. He predominantly does afro hair, but he also has such a great knowledge on how to do like Caucasian hair as well, which I really respect from him, because a lot of barbers end up pigeonholing themselves into just one type of hair, and that's the only hair they can cut, but this guy can really do it all. So his tutorials are super comprehensive. If you watch his videos, you're gonna get like a great understanding of how to do any sort of hair type. And Real Gentleman is a channel I think run predominantly by a barber named, or a stylist named Dan Gregory. He's a barber slash stylist based out in the UK. He predominantly just does white people hair, but his haircuts are honestly just amazing. He does a variety of like fades, and then also a lot of like scissor cuts, which if you're looking to get into barbering long term is something you really need to know about. It was also for me like the most fun haircuts to do. Like, you do a skin fade for a couple years and it's super fun, and then you just hit a point with it where it's just such a boring haircut to do. So that's when you kind of discover more avenues, maybe cutting older people's hair who like more like scissor cuts like what I have. That's when you really start to enjoy it. That's when I did anyway, personally. So I definitely recommend checking out the two of them, and then doing your own research as well, just learning from YouTube. Honestly, there's no point in like reading stuff or buying courses online, like really high-end men's bar ones. Maybe when you get into the point where you've been cutting hair for 6-7 years, that's when you go invest in a course and do it. But while you're starting, you can find anything you need on YouTube. And what I used to do is I would kind of just like take it as I went. I would not jump into the deep end and try to do a skin fade and then lose a potential client. I'd pretty much just learn how to do like a 4 back and sides or 2 back and sides, or like a simple taper on YouTube, and I'd like study it, and then I'd try do it on myself, and then I'd try do it on someone, just like to minimize the chance of you messing anything up. And then you're also gonna probably keep that client then. For anyone wondering about pricing, I started off charging nothing, and then I went to €2, then to 4, then to 7, then to 10. You pretty much just have to judge that yourself. Like, is it becoming something that's not worth your time anymore for doing it for free, and then you bump it up, and then, you know, the cycle sort of continues. The highest I got up to, I think I was charging €25 by the end, but that was with 5 years experience under my belt, and the majority of my clientele I'd been cutting for years, so they trusted me. So yeah, that's tip number 1, to learn just from YouTube really, and those 2 channels I'd specifically recommend, but you can also do your own research and find some lads that work for you. Tip number 2, I'm going to give you a framework of tools that you should be aiming for. Obviously, to each barber it's different, and you should try your own tools, but I'm just gonna give you the best ones I found after cutting hair for 5 years. So the best clipper I've used is the Wool Magic Clip. These will all be linked below, by the way. The best trimmer I used was the trimmer from Babyliss. The best foil razor was also the one from Babyliss. You can get them in a kit, I think. I definitely recommend getting Wool premium guards as well. They're like €30, but they're really worth it. You definitely need some barber side and some clipper side. You want a straight razor as well to make your lineups as fresh as possible. Anyone will really do. You can get blades online too. That's the one that's going to be the trickiest. You'll definitely want to learn that on yourself before you start cutting other people. I I definitely cut my face a lot trying to learn how to do it and cutting my arm hair and stuff, but if you just follow tutorials and follow safety precautions, you should be fine. In terms of size of scissors, you can get like 5.5 inch scissors, 6 inch, 6.5 inch, and if you're like getting deeper into your career, you might want to have a few different sizes, like a 5.5 for like really precision cutting, but when you're just starting out, a standard 6 inch scissor should cover all bases for you. And you also want to get a pair of thinning scissors. Pro tip, never use the thinning scissors when you're cutting the top of someone's hair, only for blending into the sides. If you want to thin out someone's hair around the top, I would just recommend point cutting with the actual scissors as opposed to using thinning scissors. Now, tip number 3 is going to be about organization, and it's going to be about appointment setting, and it actually brings me on to this video's sponsor, which is Booksy. Booksy was the platform I actually personally used throughout my entire career, and I have nothing but good things to say about them. So Booksy allows you to set all your appointments and create a booking link for your clients to come in, but what's interesting about it as well is there's actually a discovery feature for your clients to come and find your business on the app as well, which I think is really cool. I don't know if I've explained that right, but it basically works like a marketplace. Like potential clients can come onto the app, search for barbers, and then you can actually come up, and it's a new way for you to generate clients as opposed to just doing social media outreach like yourself. And I don't think I need to speak about the benefits of having a booking link as opposed to doing your own calendar. It's very self-explanatory, to be honest. Like clients can actually just go in and pick a time that suits them as opposed to you having to like text them back and forth and make a physical schedule and stuff. It just saves you so much effort and time, and it's going to create more bookings in turn because people are able to pick what time works best for them. This is so important, especially in busy seasons like coming to Christmas or summer, when you might be booked out and people can just come in and book whenever it suits them. Also, one thing I always struggled with as a barber, which is quite embarrassing and probably a bit weird to admit to everyone now, like I don't know if there's any of my former clients watching this, but it was really hard to like keep up with everyone's lives and who was who, if that makes sense, like whose girlfriend was who was having problems with their missus, this type of thing. So what I actually used to do is I used to like create little notes in their thing of like, this is this person, you know what I mean? So it actually allowed me to connect better with those customers. Booksy will also send out a reminder to all of your customers 24 hours before their booking, which gives them time to cancel if needs be. Will reduce no-shows of course as well. And if it's something you're into, you can also take online payments for the haircut. I never used to do this, but I know a couple of barbers that did, and it protects you against no-shows and late cancellations. The app also has in-house marketing, like you can send text blasts out to all your customers if you have a promotional deal going, like let's say, you know, bring a friend and get a $5 off both your haircuts or something like that. And all of this is available for one price only. Yes, there's no tiered model. I'm going to leave a link in the description to sign up for Booksy if any of you are interested. It's honestly just something you have to do if you are going to take this seriously as a business, because yes, you're learning a skill, but you're also running a business here and you have to treat it as such. So yeah, I'd like to thank Booksy for sponsoring this video. As you lads know, if you've been subscribed to me for a while, I don't do sponsorships. Booksy just reached out and I love the company, so I was happy enough to work with them. So if you not only want to be a great barber, but you also want to grow your business, click the link in the description to start a free trial with Booksy today. So tip number 4 is to document all of your progress on social media. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I liked to use Instagram personally. I started dabbling in TikTok a little bit, but to be honest, by the time I was kind of stopping to cut hair, the platform was only starting to grow, so I didn't get to use TikTok that much, but I know a lot of barbers these days are. You just want to be taking photos of your best haircuts and posting them on your stories or posting them as posts. It's just going to give potential clients an idea of what you can really do and sort of prove yourself. And you can also tag your mates in the photos, like who have just got their haircuts, so maybe they can repost it for you and then you can reach more people. Whatever you do, it's just so important to have an active social media presence because people just are going to know you're taking it seriously as well. But make sure your photos are very clean, they're well done. You don't need a camera, you can use your iPhone, but just edit them nicely. You know, make sure all the hair is off the gown, that's a big one, and there's no hair sticking to their head or anything like that. Just make sure the photo is nice and clean and upload as much as you possibly can. Now, tip number 5 is just to generate yourself a little bit of extra revenue. If you're interested in it, it's to upsell styling products or products in general in your studio. So of course you're going to want to invest in some styling products, you know, your grooming clay, your texture powder, your sea salt spray, whatever, just to make your haircuts look better for the photos and for the person leaving as well. And that's actually how I got started in my business. Initially I was just upselling them. I just found it so easy to sell them to people that I decided just to take it online and do it full time. It's a really great way of generating extra revenue. People are always looking for hair products, especially men these days are caring so much more about how they look. So if you can show how they can look better with styling products in their hair and sell it to them, they're most likely going to buy it. I remember if I did 10 haircuts in a day, I could sell maybe 1 or 2 products in that day as well, which was just nice money on the side. I think I was selling them for €15 each at the time, and now I'd probably do more like 20. So it was like an extra €40 a day, which was not bad. Obviously I had to pay for them. I can't remember exactly how much they were, but I think I was like having maybe a 50% markup on that. You can have a look online at wholesale, and I also do do wholesale. So if any barbers are interested who are watching this, you can always reach out to me. I'll leave a link to my website in the description and you can contact me through there. And that's pretty much the end of the video. I really actually enjoyed talking about cutting hair because it was such an important time in my life, and yeah, I'm sad to not be cutting my hair anymore, but you know, I've moved on to better things. But like I said, I really did enjoy talking about this. If you guys would like to see more videos on cutting hair and my journey with it and more tips, make sure to let me know down below and I can make more. So other than that, that's pretty much everything for today. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said at the start, if this video was helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, other than that, that's everything for today. Take care, have a good one, and see you in the next video.